So, are there other Gospels? According to the Da Vinci Code, more than 80 Gospels were considered for the New Testament, and yet only a few were chosen for inclusion. Is that really the case? No, that's a bunch of malarkey. There are only 4 from the first century. The others were later and were never considered for the New Testament. There are dozens of fragments, but only about 15 to 20 apocryphal Gospels of note, including the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of the Ebionites, Peter, the Egyptians, James, Philip, Judas, Mary Magdalene, Truth, the Gospel of Hebrews, the Gospel of Matthias, the Gospel of the 12, the Gospel of Eve, the Gospel of Perfection. Were any of the other Gospels authentic? No, they all had false claims to be written by the apostles who were long dead. They had false miracle claims about Jesus' infancy, including this one. Jesus said to him, "If you are indeed a teacher, and if you know the letters well, tell me the meaning of the alpha, and I will tell you the meaning of the beta." And the teacher was annoyed and struck him on the head, and the child was hurt and cursed him, and immediately fainted and fell to the ground on his face. So here Jesus curses somebody and they fall on their face. Sure. But the son of Annas, the scribe, was standing there with Joseph, and he took a branch of a willow and dispersed the water which Jesus had gathered together. When Jesus saw what he had done, he was enraged and said to him, "You insolent, godless thunderhead." That sounds like Jesus. "What harm did the pools and the water do to you? See now, you also shall wither like a tree, and shall bear neither leaves nor root nor fruit." And immediately that lad withered up completely. The account of Thomas. Here Jesus is defending water, an inanimate object, and making a person shrivel up. Please. False teachings fill their pages on Gnosticism, pantheism, mysticism, legalism, Docetism, adoptionism, Arianisms, and pre-incarnationism. God is our mother. This is from one of the Apocryphon of John. "I am the Father, I am the Mother, I am the Son, I am the eternally existing, the unmixed, since there is none who mingles himself with him." The fathers of the church rejected them. Irenaeus, "It is not possible that the Gospels can be either more or fewer in number than they are, for while the church is scattered throughout all the world, and the pillar and ground of the church is the gospel and the spirit of life, it is fitting that she have 4 pillars, breathing out immortality on every side and vivifying men afresh." So Irenaeus here is defending the 4 Gospels, saying there are no other Gospels. Eusebius, he called them totally impious and absurd. J. Donaldson, editor of the Ante-Nicene Fathers, wrote, "The predominant impression which they leave on our minds is a profound sense of the immeasurable superiority, the unapproachable simplicity and majesty of the canonical writings." He's basically saying, look, the 27 books of the New Testament are far and away different than all these other apocryphal scriptures. They are the canon. There's no reason that anything else would be included. The apocryphal Gospels, even the earliest and soberest among them, can hardly compare with the canonical Gospels. The former are all patently secondary and legendary or obviously slanted. The extra-canonical literature taken as a whole manifests a surprising poverty. The bulk of it is legendary and bears the clear mark of forgery. Christ versus the critics.
This is the activity center shot. Here at Sky Ranch, we love arcade games. Heyo. This is a zipline laser shot.
Dude, perfect.